Hi, welcome back to our next section where we're still talking about successful student behaviors. This shows you what I want you to do with this information. So, because we don't have the test available to us anymore, you get to pick 5 of the 8 student success behaviors that you would like to work on, and I'll review those again in a minute. What you would do on, I think it's April 23rd, when we have our exam, you will have 5 questions that you've worked on throughout the semester, and you'll have your answers to those. On that day, I will pick one question for you to answer. If I were to pick this first student success question, I would give you a piece of paper that says list the student success behavior, and you would write, for example, improving my interdependence, i.e. asking for help. Then you would write a thought that helps you about that. I see it as a strength rather than a weakness to ask for help, and a behavior. I will go to my professor's office before a challenging exam and lay out how I'm preparing and ask them what else I could do. Okay? Then you would move on to your second behavior. You would do all 5 behaviors, and then you would do a self-change project. You would take one of the behaviors from this side that you would especially like to get better at, and you would list that success behavior. You can't discuss your score on it because we don't have scores this semester. And then give an example of a problem thought that you have. So if we were to go back to the interdependence and helping thing, problem thought would be, it's embarrassing to ask for help because I don't want people to think I'm stupid. Okay? And then an example of a new success thought that would improve your performance. So over here, you've already said, I want to see asking for help as a strength rather than a weakness. So now you need another success thought that would help improve your performance, such as, when I ask for help and I get a clear direction on how to be successful on an assignment or an exam, it improves my self-confidence and I feel more encouraged, which helps me be committed to my college journey. Then an example of a behavior that you'll actually perform. Over here, you said you would go to your instructor's office. So here you need to do a behavior that's different from the one that you put over here. So here you might say, so I'm going to form a study group, or I'm going to get a study partner and actually improve my study skills. Not finally, who are you going to be accountable to? Be really great if you were able to say, I'm going to tell my sister that I'm going to start doing this new thought and this new behavior, and I'm going to ask her to just ask me, hey, how's it going? That way I know I'm accountable to someone, and maybe I will want to do it more, so I'll have something positive to report. And the last thing is, how will you reinforce yourself? You ought to give yourself some kind of reward for doing this, right? So maybe it's your Starbucks, maybe it's your fast food, maybe it's buying some music, maybe it's free time to just do nothing, no schoolwork, no responsibilities. Maybe it's a reward, okay, I can go watch another episode on Netflix. Whatever you'd like to do to reward yourself when you actually do your self-change project should be in place. Okay, good luck. Now we're going to talk about success behaviors 5 through 8. Okay, successful students gain self-awareness by consciously employing behaviors, beliefs, attitudes that keep them on course. So what that means is successful students think consciously about their role as a college student and what they can do to maximize their potential as a college student. So what they tell themselves, their beliefs, the attitudes that they have about it, and the behaviors that they carry out based on those beliefs and attitudes. So that involves the way that you think about Modesto Junior College, for example. Many transfer schools rate Modesto Junior College as one of the highest schools in terms of preparing you to finish a 4-year degree. Many people in the community hire Modesto Junior College students because they know that you've been very well prepared here. One of the things about a community college, and especially our college, is the professors are here because we love to teach. We love to help our students reach their potential. We're not interested in doing research and publishing books and having TAs and all of that kind of stuff. We're here because we are teachers, and that's a great benefit to you because when we're in the classroom with you, that's what we chose to do for our profession. So if you are able to tell yourself that you're in a good place because this college values you and wants to support your journey towards your dreams, you're in a much better place than if you say things like, oh, it's just like a grown-up high school, or oh, it's just community college. If you're saying that to yourself, you're discrediting your participation in your educational journey because you're devaluing MJC. Successful students develop self-discipline, showing commitment, focus, and persistence in pursuing their goals and dreams. You know, that's really important. You discipline yourself so that you say, this is my most important priority. My homework comes first. My preparation for exams and assignments comes first. When your boss tells you, I need you to work this time, and you say, no, I have class at that time, as we mentioned, and I cannot work at that time. And your boss seems like, well, if you don't work at that time, then you're fired. They're probably really not going to fire you. You've told them when your classes are. You've told them when you're available to work. And if that does not work out, then it's time to find a different job because your academic journey is the most important thing to you right now. And I know it's easy for me to say, oh, find a different job, but there are places that are ready and willing to hire quality employees, and they know that students are very high quality employees. Struggling students make important choices kind of unconsciously, being directed by self-sabotaging habits and outdated life scripts. So you could be making an important choice about, okay, well, I'll just go to work because the outdated life script is, well, I have to go to work. I have to do what my boss says. And I can still do okay if I miss these classes. That means that you set yourself up to have to quit or change course when your actions don't lead to immediate success. Like, okay, you missed a few points in class that day, or you missed a quiz in class that day. So you say, oh, forget it. I'll just take that class later, and you end up dropping. That's very sad to me. I understand the real world, but I hope that your self-awareness allows you to be very assertive in saying no to the things that people ask you to do that sabotage your academic journey. So an example of a thought related to self-awareness is, I work better under pressure, so procrastination is justified. No, now you guys know the reality is you work under pressure. You don't work better under pressure. We wait until there is pressure so we'll actually do some work, but that doesn't mean that we do our better work at that time. So a new thought would be, I don't want the pressure and I want to do well, so I'm going to space out my studying and preparation for exams. So again, this is a good example of a thought related to self-awareness. Then an example of a behavior related to self-awareness would be to notice when you actually study and make a plan to enhance this time for study. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'm going to study on Wednesdays because I have an hour and a half off between classes, when you know that what you do with that time is go over and hang out with friends over by the cafeteria, or you go off campus and go get something to eat. When you actually study may be between 11 o'clock at night and 1 o'clock in the morning. And if that's when you actually study, then make a plan for protecting that time so that you really will accomplish your study. And self-awareness, again, notice the things that distract you when you're trying to study and make a plan to reduce those distractions. You and I both know that our cell phones are very distracting. I just glanced at mine when I said this, but mine is off right now. The average attention span is 20 minutes. Do you think you could commit to putting your phone away or turning it off and turning it upside down for just 20 minutes so you could really focus on your academic journey. Successful students adopt lifelong learning, finding valuable lessons and wisdom in nearly every experience they have, which means they value learning rather than training. So you came to MJC for an education, for a college degree that represents that you have been exposed to a broad range of topics. You have a deeper understanding of many of the aspects of our world, from geography to astronomy to anthropology to math to English, and that you have valued the development of who you are because you have new critical thinking ability, increased communication skills, more emotional intelligence. You're not here for a training program to get a job. What you are bringing to employers when you have an AA or you transfer and get a BA, a master's, or a doctorate, is you're bringing that maturity, that passion for learning, that ability to do critical thinking, that self-discipline, responsibility, dependability, eagerness. And then wherever you go to work, they teach you the specifics of working there. If you were interested in a training program that trains you to get a job, then MJC isn't the place for you. We give you an education. Other commercial colleges give you a training program. So struggling students resist learning new ideas and skills, viewing learning as fearful, oh no, I'm not going to be able to deal with this, or boring, or not necessary, rather than mental play. I'm not sure very many of us see it as mental play, but that's what the book said. So a struggling student keeps telling themselves, why do I have to take anthropology? Why do we have to take all these math courses? And that leads them to not wanting to be here. Each course you take may not be your favorite course. You may not be able to see how that fits into the bigger picture of who you are in life. But I guarantee you, those things will come up as you go through life, as you travel, as you meet new people, as you experience new things. And you'll have a framework from your education that will set you up to better understand, to make better decisions, to be a better parent and a better son or daughter, a better friend, because you've learned so many things that make you an enhanced person through coming to college. Number 7, successful students develop emotional intelligence, which means that they can effectively manage their emotions and be able to delay their gratification. Effectively managing your emotions means that you can express how you can identify how you're feeling first and then express it. You can deal with anger and depression and anxiety by doing effective steps to alleviate them and be able, excuse me, to turn your attention back to college. So struggling students live at the mercy of their strong emotions. They get mad at something in a personal relationship and they just don't go to class. Or they wake up in the morning, they feel kind of depressed, so they don't go to class. Or they have anxiety, so they come to class, but they're unable to focus. Or they have a need for instant gratification. They would rather do the pleasurable things, they're right in front of them, than to delay their gratification, focus on a responsibility so that they can have a later success. This is really a definition of maturity, and it's a very important quality for students in college, because college is not fun. College is hard, and all the other things that are available to you are a lot more fun. But you're able to think about how much better your life will be when you've accomplished your education, so you are able to focus on what you need to do and have fun later.